I'm in the parish of Burghclere, within the bounds of the parish of Burghclere, on Beacon Hill, which you can see coming up the A34 to Newbury, just south of Newbury. Behind me is Highclere Castle. You might know it as Downton Abbey from TV fame. Symbol of the proceeds of empire, just how wealthy and powerful you can become. But we're not here to discuss that. What we're looking at is the English landscape. This place is called Beacon Hill. What did the ancients call it? So all we have to work on is documents, ancient charters and so on. Anything earlier than the Anglo-Saxons, there's not enough definition to get down to that individual sort of parishes and landmarks. We've got the Old English charters, they're the Anglo-Saxon charters of Burghclere, Highclere, Kingsclere, I believe, Ashmansworth. So we know, tracing, comparing sort of Burghclere and Highclere, we know this hill was known as Wyadd Settle, or Wyadd Settle, and Wyadd means to ward, to be a warder, to ward against something, and settle is what you might have in your front room, a seat. So this was the warding seat, essentially. So it was seen as a boundary, a checkpoint, a castle to keep people out or watch people coming in. So that's what we've got here. There's another right. So today the A34 is on the eastern side of Beacon Hill, but the charters don't mention a road going up there. They mention, however, a road going up the western side. So what I'm looking for is a gateway, perhaps to show whether or not it's always gone up the western side. It doesn't anymore, obviously. It's parkland now, belonging to Highclere. They've fenced it off and you can't go up here anymore. But that was this way up here, according to the charters, is called the Hera Path, which is the war path, basically. So it's an army path, a path built for armies. So it's a good road, means armies can run up and down the country really quickly. But they're not like Roman roads, they're not straight. But also of interest today, I want to answer the question. There's a question going around on the Map Anomalies Facebook site, and that question is, are all tot hills in England, are they Roman lookout stations? Now, you would think this is the best lookout station. It's a massive hill, massive, the tallest hill for miles. Yep, there's a tot hill in that direction, just beyond the castle, Highclere Castle, about a mile, maybe 2 miles away. So I'd like to, which seems to me, if I was a Roman, I'd put a lookout post here. So let's, I'm going to examine that question in this circumstance, in this area, if I can. I don't actually answer this question. The question about Tot Hill, whether or not it's in this context is related anyway to Roman or any other sort of state or military observation post. So what we got? What information we got? We know from the earliest it is mentioned, I believe, with my own research. I'm not a professional, but with my own research, the earliest we can find is the 15th century, the 1400s, where it's called Tota Hill or something like that, Middle English. Grundy does mention Tot Hill, but he's not. Doesn't seem to be basing it on any actual evidence. He's sort of explaining where the word comes from, and it means something along the lines of Totian, which is to peek, to look, to spy. So why have we got one so close to Beacon Hill, to the where to settle? It's twice as high. It's on a main road, and it's definitely a fortification. It's definitely there to ward others. That's where its name comes from. But it's so why have we got another Totian place 2 miles away? So it could be that the Beacon Hill only deals with one approach, the one down the road coming up from Winchester in the south, and another that perhaps the land unit that these places were protecting was fairly small, or there's a whole network, or they invested in a whole network of these things. But we do know to the west of Toss Hill is a what's described as Londa in the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle, Anglo-Saxon Charter, and which is Feld, which is where we get the English word, modern English word field. But in those days it meant a large open space, almost wasteland. So you could think about perhaps that is what Tots Hill is guarding. But ultimately we don't really know. Though other people, there might be other papers somewhere. I've had a look, but I couldn't find anything. But it is marked on the map. There's a service station there as well. It feels significant. The road it's on, the road from Newbury to Andover, is a bit windy to be a Roman road. Though the Romans did use windy roads. They used the ridgeways, just like they were. The people who lived in Britain during the Roman period were British. They still use the old roads. But it's interesting, Andover does have more than one proper straight Roman road going to it, so it would make sense to have a road that goes up to another station on, as part of their network going up to Newbury, which is a station on one of the big Roman roads, Spina or Spinis. Which nobody knows exactly where that is, but we know it's Newbury somewhere within the district of Newbury. So anyway, yeah. So that's all I have on Tot Hill. I think it's probably more prosaic than a ancient watching station. It may be something else, like that might be where shepherds sat to watch their flocks, who knows. But anyway, I did promise I'd try to examine this, and I didn't, and this bit is me laying out what we have.